Mm, shit. Hey guys, it's me Daniel, aka Daniel. um, I'm gonna start doing the live stream, whether or not there are people watching. I kind of wanted to I want to make this more of a prominent thing, so I want to, you know, kind of start. I just did this sketch not too long ago. So I want to kind of show you guys kind of the process that I go through um, as far as like inking. What the fuck is that? Okay, I don't know what that is, and I apologize. Okay, so this is a sketch I just did. I want to time myself like last time. I'll probably give myself about 20 minutes this time. So I'm gonna start in the next minute and just kind of go through it all. Just for the people at home, I do use Manga Studio to do all of these sketches. Outside of that, this is pretty much. All right, I'm gonna start drawing now. This is pretty much the like the drawing. Like if you want to have like really nice line work, this is a program that I would heavily suggest. And recommend to a lot of people. It's just that nice. Like everything comes out really clean. I don't know. It's really cool. Anyway, I kind of want to have like topics when I talk about these kind of things. So let me know if you kind of have a topic that you want to talk about or anything of that nature. As far as things go, the one thing that happened today that was kind of a lot was Donald Trump, his first congressional speech. And if you've been following me for a while or speak to me at all in any shape, way, or form, you know that I'm not the biggest Donald Trump fan. I think I don't know. It's crazy just seeing all of that happening is that's going on right now. It's really wild. But it is what it is. People voted, and I don't know. It was just a lot. A lot was going on during these past couple months. 2016 was kind of just wild in general, but it is what it is. Ooh. Let's see. It says here the stream is offline. Hold on. But yeah, it is what it is. Sorry, something came up on my computer. Anyway, yeah, so it is what it is. Politics aside, just it just kind of seems almost like a cosmic joke, if you will. Just kind of seeing this dude up there. Damn it. But it is what it is. It's our reality now. This should hopefully get people more inspired to want to get involved, at least politically. Speaking on politics, I guess I wanted to talk. What do I want to talk about today? Today I kind of wanted to talk about like, what's an interesting topic? I guess I'll talk about right now is pizzagate. What do I think about poppy? Like the drug, like the plant that they make heroin from. Poppy isn't good. Heroin isn't good. I do not endorse heroin. Oh right, I was gonna talk about Pizzagate. So guys, I don't know if you guys have heard about Pizzagate at all, but essentially Pizzagate is like a like conspiracy theory based on like the Clinton leaks. So just so we're in the same realm of like politics and stuff, I guess I'll go into like the fringe theory stuff, which is usually pretty fun to talk about. Um, there in the email leaks that happened with Hillary Clinton and all that garbage. There were some people who were saying that they thought like they have found that there was like emails from the DNC that were sent from like the guy who ran the DNC, the Democratic National Committee, to a pizza place. How they were buying like thousands and thousands of dollars worth of pizza, and like what this was like, ugh, the pizza, for when people were scouring these emails and they started seeing all these big pizza purchases, people were like, what the fuck? Why is there so much pizza being ordered at the Democratic parties? So then, what the hell is that? Okay. So that there's all this talk about pizza. What is that? Okay. I don't know if you guys can hear that, but there's like a big, it's weird. What is that? Apparently the computer is making weird noises in the other room. It's because they know I'm talking about Pizzagate. They're trying to silence me and suppress the truth. I'm just kidding. So, so pretty much people were like, pizza, what the fuck? So it turns out that pizza is also something that can be used. It's like a code word that's used for people who are like pedophiles, like in the pedophile community, in order for them to discuss discreetly, about pedophilia. Like talk about child pornography, where they can acquire it. So the theory goes that Hillary Clinton not just like Hillary either, like the entire Democratic like committee, like the entire party was involved in this like super secret elite what is it like what the fuck is that that they're involved in like some crazy super elite pedophile ring. People were saying that this had like direct ties with Satanism and all this other stuff. And I'm gonna be real. Okay, like the reason why I got to this point is because when they started talking about and they started researching this stuff and the pizza and all this other stuff, it ended up leading back to um, a pizza place in Washington called Comet Pizza. And this place is owned by a dude whose name is James Lanfants or something like that. James Lefant, some shit. And his name in French loosely translates to like it kind of sounds like I love children in French. And people were like, what the fuck? So they started noticing kind of like certain things like, in his Instagram and the Instagram of the place, there's all these like weird pictures of like, like people being tortured and like some like the Instagram had like a picture of like kids being tied up and shit. It seemed like it was funny, but like in this context of like potential child, uh, you know, a sexual predator, it kind of started to become a little bit more questioning. So people started to kind of put all these pieces together that may or may not necessarily fit, and they started saying that like everybody in the Democratic committee was part of this like elite pedophile ring, which is of course more than disturbing. So a lot of people thought that this was like a surefire sign that you know that Hillary Clinton was the Antichrist, and the thing is, like, this was all stuff that was found on WikiLeaks, and for the most part, WikiLeaks is correct. Like, people have gone to jail because of the stuff that they posted on WikiLeaks being so confidential. So, with all of that happening, one of the things that I started noticing when it came to Pizzagate was that whenever people would kind of bring up Pizzagate, there was always kind of like a narrative tied to it. Oh, I forgot. One of the other reasons why it was like linked with Satanism, which is what a lot of people linked it with, is because there was an artist named Marina Abramovic who, I don't know if I'm a fan of hers or not. She did do some stuff that I thought was kind of cool, and then some other stuff that wasn't so cool. Um, she did this kind of ceremony, if you will, called whatchamacallit, a spirit cooking. It's it's like this thing that people like really fucking lost their minds over, like spirit cooking, and the thing is that what that was is it was like a art piece, if you could call it that, really, where she got like a bucket of pig's blood and would write really creepy things on the wall. Now, I'm gonna be real with you guys. That's not the craziest thing that has occurred in the art world, but since she would have these quote unquote spirit cooking seminars with people, since it involved like pigs, blood, and all this other shit, they automatically, what people don't understand, they fear, and they usually associate these kind of things with like Judeo-Christian shit, which, like, spoiler alert, those aren't the only religions that exist. And they were like, oh well, this is obviously a satanic ritual, even though Marina Abramovic's just kind of like a white person. Um, the term pedo sadists. Yeah, essentially that's what the people who use those, um, the people who use those. Really, really, okay. My sister's over here singing old R&B music. I don't blame her though. It's good. I mean, what am I doing? I'm like drawing and talking about pedophiles. Anyway, so it is what it is. So, it is what it is or whatever. And, she would throw pig's blood and she would just start writing all these like creepy things on the wall. Like, oh, cut your middle finger and suck the pain out. But I don't know how people get Satan from all this. Like, to me, it really just seems like Satan and Satanism is just kind of like a catch-all for things that people don't really understand. So either way, the evidence towards these people running a child, sex ring, the sex trafficking ring is pretty incriminating for the most part. Like I felt like it was something that deserves some kind of investigation. Like someone should look into it for the most part. But the real tea, the thank you. I'll let her know you thought her singing was awesome. The real tea here is like, okay, how is it? Okay, people were linking all this shit together. The real tea is not whether or not is satanic. It's like it's honestly like that is not really that hard for me to believe. Like you guys can go and research all the rest of the Pizzagate stuff. I'm not gonna go through it with you guys, but the real tea is that isn't really unbelievable. It's not so crazy to think that these like crazy, powerful, wealthy white people, are involved in like a pedophile ring. Like, does that sound so crazy to you? Does it really? Like the reason why Pizzagate failed to gain the attention that it should have gotten, let's say if all this stuff was that as incriminating as the proponents of the theory say, is because it was just too dipped in mysticism. Like, not everyone is Judeo-Christian, not everyone believes in Satan. So, and as opposed to, trying to expose what could potentially be a gigantic, pedophile ring, that, might exist. It might exist. Because, that's not so crazy. Look at the Catholic Church. Their whole thing is that they're all pedophiles. You know what I'm saying? So what it was it ended up becoming like a like crazy fringe theory on Reddit. And it's because people get so swept up in these like this imagery and trying to prove the Illuminati, all this other dumb garbage like clickbait millennial. Well, I don't want to say millennial because technically I'm part of that demographic. But all this like dumb clickbait, fake news, Facebook bullshit. Where like, oh, this is obviously proof that Satan exists. It don't matter if it was Satan. It don't matter if it was Buddha. It don't matter if it's Jesus Christ herself. Girl, if somebody's doing pedophilia, that shit needs to end. It doesn't matter what affiliation these people have. That shit is wrong. You know what I'm saying? That shit is gross. And people who are involved in that are fucking like sick people. Some of them may not necessarily, it might be involuntary, but it doesn't matter what their creed in life is, be it satanic, because some Satanists, I've met some Satanists, they're cool people. I've chilled, I've smoked with them the same way that I've chilled and smoked with like Christians and Jews and Muslim people, all walks of life. It doesn't matter what their creed is. What matters is what the fuck they're doing. So if you're somebody who's part of the Democratic Party and you're part of a legal sex pedophile ring, bitch, that's wrong and gross, and you need to be investigated. But and it was to the point, where like a man went over to the place with a shotgun. Yes, look it up. This happened like early or late December, early January. He went there with like a shotgun trying to do some like vigilante Batman shit. And he ended up getting arrested. He went there and was just like, "Oh, I'm doing this for journalists' sake." And he got arrested. Bitch, what the fuck did you expect? See, that's only some shit that white people could do and that white people could get away with. Because like if that was like a black man or like a really dark skinned Latino man, that we would not be hearing about this. He would never hear from this man again. You would he would be shot and dead. That hoe would be dead. Like let's be real, that's the tea. Bitch, he would be dead. Because anytime like somebody wants to do some vigilante shit, if they're of color, bitch, they're automatically like deemed, people of color are deemed like what is it, like not scary, but yeah, like scary. We're deemed threats without really doing anything. So that's kind of like the point where that got. And there was also a lot, like another thing that made it just really invalid is all this like co-opting of different marginalized groups, like the Black Lives Matter thing. Anytime anything takes from that, like the Black Lives Matter movement, like where they'll try to like turn in like the Blue Lives Matter stuff, automatic invalidation. You are trying to co-opt and ride on the reins of something that's already successful. You know what I'm saying? Like, so there was like a Little Lives Matter in the Pizzagate community. That was a hashtag that I saw being thrown around a couple times. And I'm just like, really, Queen? Little Lives Matter? Like, and people would be like, oh, I'm so tired of people talking about Black Lives Matter. Why can't we talk about little lives mattering and all the little kids who are being subject, all these probably not existent children. I'm not saying that like child like trafficking doesn't happen, because it does, and it's a sad fact of life. But trying to co-opt this movement and trying to make it like trying to validate what you're saying by taking something that already sounds popular is fucking whack. Get your own fucking hashtag. You know what I'm saying? Like that shit it's whack. It's fucking lame, and it invalidates everything that you're gonna say. Like the Blue Lives Matter thing. As soon as you see it, you already know what kind of politics is gonna go behind it. It's anti-Black Lives Matter because it's riding on those coattails, and it sides with the people on the right end of the political spectrum, because they're trying to make Black Lives Matter seem like silly or mundane by just kind of putting whatever the fuck lives matter in front of it, like pet lives matter or some stupid shit. That's why if you ever see anyone, going around doing something that sounds similar to that, you already know is bullshit. Don't follow it. That's how I started to realize that with the Pizzagate. And again, it's not like it's that hard to believe, but people really have to stop with this kind of fucking Illuminati, uh, scare tactics bullshit. Like the Illuminati, like if people want to believe in the Illuminati, I can't stop them from doing it. But goddamn, like people are so skeptical, but of the wrong things. Like people are so skeptical about the government. Raise your hand if you're somebody who really trusts the government. Unless you're one of those crazy like Trump maniacs who's like super pro Trump and you love the government, you love America, and you eat hamburgers with ketchup. You know what I'm saying? Like, and hot dogs on 4th of July type ho. Like, who really trusts the government? Let me know. I don't know anyone. I've never spoken to anyone who has never come to the conclusion on their own that the government isn't corrupt in some form or manner. By you kind of like adding like what is it, if by you kind of like, oh, the Illuminati, you kind of um make these real atrocities that go on every day kind of invalid. You make it seem like you're just some crazy Christian on YouTube who's trying to prove that everything revolves around these what is it, like non-existent groups. These groups don't need like triangles and eyes to in their products in order to prove that they exist. It already exists. These people are wealthy. These big corporations that exist are, if you are trying to look for an Illuminati, look no further than these big corporations. That's what the fuck it is. Like like I think people kind of like I really am trying not to sound condescending. I don't feel like people, like it's easier for people to kind of lump all these horrible things that go on in the world to like a villain, like a cartoon villain or something or two, as opposed to thinking of like life in the form of these like complicated uh, web of events and people who are actively doing these kind of things. You know what I'm saying? So as this pertains to Pizzagate, yes, it is possible that the entire Democratic Party might be involved in some underground, pedophilia scandal. That's like a total possibility, but it's also a possibility that they could have just ordered a lot of pizza. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, the, if one thing exists, then so does something else. And if something does seem absurd, it might it might seem that it is also true. If something's that absurd, it could also be true. But the same thing could be said about it just being pizza. If people truly and honestly believe that there's like some satanic cult that's like ordering children like from Amazon, then the absurdity of it also being just pizza is also just as valid. So I feel like people who who are super pro Pizzagate need to start coming up with better evidence. Like, I need to see kids. I need to see videos. I need receipts. I don't need, oh, a Reddit page being shut down. You know how many Reddit pages get shut down? Like, a lot. Like, it's fucking Reddit. Reddit is not news, not like that. You know what I'm saying? And yes, there are a lot of things that go on Reddit, but that's like I'll turn things around. That's like saying something's true just because it was said on Tumblr a lot. Like that's the same kind of logic. And these are the people who make fun of Tumblr and things of that nature are people who are huge Redditors who go on this kind of like um on these fringe theories who really feel like this shit is like real, like it's valid. Like like it's just fucking crazy. Like they can't, like you can't discern something from like your political group, but you can for other things. Like there's like definitely a kind of political ideology that permeates Tumblr you know, as it pertains to like quote unquote third wave feminism and, you know, gender and all this other gay shit, which is fine, but like the same thing can be said for Reddit as far as like, you know, red pills and, you know, MRA and all this other shit, exactly like 4chan and shit like that. But people don't want to be as skeptical towards their respective website groups as opposed to other ones because it doesn't fit the kind of narrative that they want to like. There's some shit on Tumblr that I'm not really for either, you know what I'm saying? Like, and I don't even be on Tumblr like that anymore. You know, there's like people on Tumblr who, you know, they're like, oh, gender, and I'm like, okay, I can fuck with, you know, like gender divergent concepts, but when you're starting to tell me that you think you're a fucking galaxy gendered person, like that doesn't make sense. And it also harms people who are genuinely like experience gender dysphoria by making it seem like your gender expression is the same thing as like it's a fashion statement. Like, no, bitch. There are people who feel like psychologically they're in the wrong body, and there's science to help support and back that. And yes, you can dress however the fuck you want, but that's not the same thing as somebody who is experiencing gender dysphoria. It's not the fucking same that you feel like you're a galaxy just because your hair is rainbows, you know? So it is what it is. And I feel like people who are in that Pizzagate shit need to come to terms with what they're doing as far as like what kind of message it is that they feel like they want to put out. Because, you know, they're and this is, I'm probably like digging too deep to be honest, because I don't even see Pizzagate like that anymore, but I did for a second. And, you know, now that Trump is president, he's doing all this other shit. You know, just the other day, I think there was something trending today called like Watergate, like Water Sports Gate, which had something to do with like, I don't read into it. I'm really trying to not, I want to touch Trump's presidency with like a fucking mile long stick. I kind of just want to watch it from the sidelines. I don't really feel compelled to engage with Trump's campaign at all, really, unless it's like, let's tear it down. I really don't want to engage all that much, but as opposed to just laughing and shit and calling him dumb and maybe joining some revolutionary groups. Anyway, yeah, I'm just trying to do me. I'm not trying to be involved with Trump. I'm nothing. So, as this pertains to like Pizzagate, you know, it's like there's people who genuinely believe that that is a thing, and you know, it's kind of wild. Like it really is. Like there's people who someone, it was wild enough for someone to physically go there with a shotgun and try to find answers for themselves. I think that at least merits a legitimate investigation. Like if enough people are, you know, are this intrigued about it and it seems like there might be something there, I feel like it is up to like the press, someone to look it up. And I don't mean like a Reddit, like a subreddit group. I mean, I need people to physically go there and look it up, like credited people, not just like some white dude with a shotgun. You know, I also need like kids who are like ex people who have been in that very specific area to come out and say, hey, this is a thing. And maybe someone will come up and be like, Daniel, you fucking whatever the hell they'll call me, there is, and also other shit. Okay, bitch, show me the receipts, hand me links, hand me videos. I'm down. But up until then, it just seems like an anti-gay, pro-Trump, like anti-Hillary, like think group and think tank, I should say. And you know, I don't give a fuck about Hillary or whatever ass either. So, you know, I really hope people don't try to come for me and like, oh, you love Hillary. Like, what about? Just a mess. But you know, it is what it is. Anyway, I think I'm done with this drawing. Kind of did this one really quick, and let me see. Yeah, oh, it's coming out pretty good. It's kind of how I want it to look. Eh. Yeah, it is what it is though. As far as like the election and well, I wouldn't say election, but as far as Trump's presidency goes now, so far it really seems kind of like it's just gonna be a gigantic joke. I think our our political system's just gonna be memed to hell. I'm low key excited for the memes because I know there's probably gonna be some iconic ones, but I'm really not excited for what will come as far as like long term or I don't know because even just today with the congressional speech it was just a mess like I was really ugh but I want to not always be so wrapped up with speaking about politics so I don't know I feel like I would much rather talk about like fringe theories I really hope you guys enjoyed hearing me talk about this potentially made up um, you know conspiracy theory. Thank you, thank you. Someone said the drawing looks great. I appreciate that. You're a very nice and kind person for saying that. I really appreciate that, like a lot. It means a lot to me. And yeah, this is about all I want to do with this for now. But just so you know, they're wearing like cutoff shorts, um, a tall tee, like the tall tees. They have it like really long in the back now. That's kind of what I was going for with this, but um, it is what it is. Um, anyway, I'm gonna end the live stream now. I feel like I've spoken as much as I can, um, and I'll try to see you guys later. I want to do these just about daily. Maybe some days I won't speak. I don't know how I want to go about doing these. Hopefully, you guys can kind of give me suggestions. I want people to um, be more interactive. I have a couple people, I have someone talking to me on the chat, which is awesome. Shout outs to Kever, or yeah, Kever for you know listening and stuff. Anybody who ever wants to join these live streams, feel free to join and chit chat with me. I want to be as interactive with my audience as possible, and just have a good time. We can talk about whatever. We can talk about music, and things of that nature. So yeah, hit me up. I'm going to end the live stream, and thank you. Also, side note, this is a character for the comic book that I'm working on. I'm trying to do some concept designs, so that way, I can kind of have all this stuff ready for when I want to turn it in. So, I forget this character's name. She escapes me at this moment. But she is the friend of the other character that I drew last time. That character's name was Mimi. So this is, I don't know, you guys come up with a name in the comments section. I would like to see what you guys come up with. And yeah, I want to talk more. Maybe next time we can talk more on fringe theories. I feel like that might be something fun to kind of dive into. But yeah, so thank you guys for stopping by. This is Daniel. Peace out.